Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Keep coming through. Exactly what they can. Oh, look, they're him. Yeah, we are streaming. Dope, dope, and dope. I think there's a way. Yeah, it is 60 frames per second. Maybe I could change it. Comic Box, we can beat 60 frames per second for Comic Box. I gotta do my little pop out chat so I can read all the chats. Hi, Prez. Hi, Cynical. You guys are always here quick. Pop out. There we go. Now I got us. Let me make it bigger. Hey, Craig. What's up? Punctuality is life. I know! Today we're actually starting on time! Past two streams, not on time. And I blame Andy Brown and myself. Myself for Monday. Andy for Sunday. Definitely Andy for Sunday. Hey, Dizzy. Welcome to this stream. And today, I actually have the tweets and the Facebooks actually already written up. So all I gotta do is go in there, copy and paste, and press send. How was your day? My day was great. I didn't do a lot of much. I went to the comic book shop, picked up comics. Finally, feels like it's been forever since the last Wednesday. Hi, Soups. How's it going? It's going well. That guy Tony. How's it going? How are all you bugs doing? It's Wednesday. We didn't talk on Tuesday. How's your past 2 days been? Let me see. I'll tweet that out. And then I'll put that on Facebook too. And I'm going to do something different today. I'm going to do a short Instagram live because I feel like posting an Instagram post every like Wednesday and everything, people are going to get tired of it. So we're just going to go and I'm going to invite them and then I'll probably show them you bugs and be like, whoa, look at these bugs. Work, bunch of it, right? There was a cat fight outside my door, sounded nasty. That's kind of gross. The motherboard on my laptop got fried, but comics made me feel better. That is terrible, but I'm so glad it's Wednesday, and I'm so glad comics are making you feel better, because that's what we're here to talk about. So let's go live for a split second on Instagram. Here we go. It's checking the connection right now, but we'll get there. Yeah, Craig, that's a bummer. We're live now. So now we're live. And also, Instagram does this cool thing now where if you go live, you can then post it up. Hi, bugs. So, Super Beetle here. And I just went live to tell you that I'm actually live somewhere else that you can watch. Twitch.tv/Super Beetle Games. Because today is Wednesday. You might be wondering why I'm wearing pink. I'm going to do this whole thing on the stream again. Don't worry. We wear pink on Wednesdays over at Twitch.tv/Super Beetle Games. Hey, Goat Whisperer, how's it going? And look, there's all the bugs there. You can join them in the chat and everything. They're talking about stuff. Like I said, Wednesday, we talk about comics. So jump on over, Twitch.tv/Super Beetle Games, and I'll be there. Sorry, I just went live to tell all you bugs to jump over there to go live, because we do this whole thing. It's like 2 hours long. Okay, bye. Boop. 10 viewers, real quick. That guy Tony now hosting you. Thank you for hosting me. Sorry. All right. Let's share that. Keep it up so bugs can see it. Now, bugs, my attention is all on you. Bleh. All right. So, I think, let's see, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Yeah, today's Wednesday, right? Yeah, that's why we're live right now. Today's Wednesday. And what happens on Wednesdays? Wednesdays, comic books come out. But that's the entire world. There's something we do on Wednesdays specifically. I'm trying to think. What is it? What do we do on Wednesdays? What do you do on Wednesdays? Bugs. It is Wednesday. Welcome to Super Beetle's Comic Box here on Twitch.tv/Super Beetle Games. And just like Prez said, on Wednesdays, we wear pink. I don't know why. It's a Mean Girls reference, and we just stuck with it, but it's totally working. I've worn pink since then. Y'all have worn pink since then. I know it. You've been tweeting me out. You've been Instagramming me. I Absolutely friggin' love it. We read Big Bad Beetleborgs. We do read that stuff too. If there was a Big Bad Beetleborgs comic, I know there was back in the day. There's not today. There's not today. Today we have 4 comics, but before we get to them, I'm going to try to do this right this time because I always mess it up and I get lost talking to everybody. So, housekeeping rules. Not rules, just housekeeping stuff. Just like, hey, go everywhere, do everything. I know I ask a lot of you, but you bugs are so excellent about it that it's fantastic. So, basically, a couple streams ago, I made a promise that if we hit 100 subscribers, we would do a 24-hour stream with all my friends, all everybody from wrestling and everything, and a bunch of different walks of life, and just 24 hours, non-stop gaming, comics. We'll figure out super fun stuff too, and just non-stop stuff. It'll be fun. And that's if we hit 100 subscribers. And I got a lot of bugs asking me where we are right now. Right now we're at 7. So I changed the follower widget that you can see under the chat right there. I changed that from followers to subscribers. So as that goes up, we can keep count. I couldn't find one that actually counted for some reason. Maybe it's because they don't want you to know who your subscribers are. But yeah, or they don't want other people to know how many subscribers you have. But yeah, we get to 100. We're going to do a 24-hour stream. Only 93 to go. That is right, Craig. Whoa, that seems like a long way. But hey, 50 followers seem like a long way. And look, now we've blasted through that. So we can totally do that. So share with everybody everywhere. Have your friends, family, and everything follow. It'll be super fun. And all you bugs hosting right now, I can see you popping up in my chat. Absolutely helps. Trust me. So, what else is there? Oh, if you want to find me on any social media, at Real Super Beetle on Twitter, on Instagram, buy one of my shirts. The Toku Titan Takes Texas shirt is only available until this coming Monday at 11:59 p.m. That means at midnight, they're gone forever. Toku Titan never taking Texas again. Not never taking Texas again, but the shirt, never taking Texas again. Unless I just end up going to Texas a lot, then it'll come back out, but whatever. But right now, we've only got a couple more days for it, and they're $15. They're one of the cheaper shirts. So if you want a Toku Titan Does Texas shirt or any shirt on the store is right above my horn right there. Canvas.com/stores/Super Beetle. I tried to highlight it, and then I completely forgot which way I'm going. So that's the store. What else? Am I missing something else? I got the pink. I got the followers. I got the subscribers over there. Updates. I got my dates up there, and I updated it, which basically I just deleted Wrestle Circus and Govina because those are the 2 that passed. But I will be at EWF in San Bernardino this Saturday, where me and Tyree have been in tag team. We'll be in tag team action. They haven't told us what's happening yet, but it's gonna happen. We will get there. I believe it. Positive vibes will get us there. I believe it too. Listen, completely honest. Disclaimer. I didn't think we could make 50 followers. I didn't think we could win that poll. I didn't think I could become a champion once, let alone twice at the same time. And I didn't do all those things. You did all those things. We did all those things. We did them together, just like we're going to do all these things together. I feel like every goal I put out there, you bugs just absolutely smash out the window and are like, hey, Super Beetle, you need this, you like this goal, boom, what's next? And that's what we're going to keep doing because I absolutely believe in it. And I believe that's all the beginning stuff. So let's get into it. Like I said, it is Wednesday. You are here for Beetle's Comic Box, where we talk about comics, pop culture, TV shows, anything you bugs want to talk about. But mostly we start with comics because that's a good jumping off point. And I read comics today, so I didn't read them for nothing. I read them to talk to all of you about it. So what are all of you reading? I don't know if we were going to talk about it today or not, but as an aside to Comic Box, Red Hood and the Outlaws has been really good recently. I haven't read Red Hood and the Outlaws, but I should. Now I know to pick it up for next week or next time it comes out, because we do pick up the top 4 or 5 comics of the week on Beetle's Comic Box. I try to get something besides Marvel and DC, and I didn't grab something today. The only thing that I could have gotten was First Strike or First Fight by IDW, and that's their big crossover event with G.I. Joe, Transformers, and it didn't end up happening. So I was reading Catcher in the Rye, but that's still not Comic Box. if you bugs like books, because it is National Book Lovers Day. I have been retweeting all the bugs that tweeted me their favorite book over on Twitter. So go ahead, just scroll down that list and pick one that you think sounds cool, or pick one you like. There's a ton on there, a ton of different styles. There's something for every buggy. And yeah, so go check it out. All you bugs made it happen again. So the first comic book we have this week, should I start with? I'm going to start with I'm going to start with the biggest event and then go to the most talked about. First comic book, we've talked about it on the stream before. We've talked about it like 3 times. This is the third one. They're coming out consistently quick. They haven't been delayed yet, which I'm really, really giving Marvel credit for. Boop, boop, boop. There it is. Secret Empire. Secret Empire number 8. And just as an aside, I'm really digging these covers. These covers look really good. Like, boom. It's just they're beautiful. And the other comics are back in the other ones are back in the box. So I pulled them out to show you. But Secret Empire, and let me I keep throwing it aside. I forgot one bit of housekeeping. All the comics today, courtesy of a shop called Quest down in Claremont, California. There is also one in Los Angeles, California. So shout out to them. Go give them a follow on Twitter, Twitch. I don't know if they have a Twitch. Go give them a shout out on Twitter, anything, Facebook, and just say, hey, Super Beetle goes there. He's pretty cool. Everybody's talking about actual books in the chat, which is cool. I've been reading the Captain America Secret Empire. I read The Glass Castle, not a comic book either, but it's an amazing story. It's a memoir, but it's a loose memoir written as entertaining as possible while still being staying true to the real life story. That's awesome. That's like, it's not really an alternate, what's the opposite of fiction? Nonfiction? Not really an alternate nonfiction, but it's like, I love stories that take something really grounded in that are real life and just slightly like give it a different perspective, or make a new perspective of someone that wasn't there, to give it a little more class and personality. Secret Empire number 8. As you can see, Craig said Sam is the man. Sam is on this cover because Sam is a very integral part of this story, while at the same time not doing a whole lot in this story. These are the beginning, and he kind of, I guess you could say he leads the charge, because this, my bugs, is the issue. What a tone shift in this issue. Absolutely, that's what I was getting to, Craig. This issue is where everything goes like this. Or it's like this, and it goes like this, because the heroes are taking back Manhattan and New York. And if you've read Marvel Comics, if you know comics at all, comic events, you knew this was coming. We knew this was coming. But it happens in such a triumphant way here that you can't just help but stand up and... There you go. There you go. It's happening. It's ready. And by the end of this issue, the heroes are really ready to take the fight to Hydra, to take the fight to Captain America. And I can't even say that anymore. Take the fight to Steve Rogers, because in this issue, Sam plants the foot that he is Captain America. And it's funny because Steve isn't really called Captain America in this issue. It's Sam. He goes on right at the start of the book on a live feed to all of New York, saying this is Captain America, just right out of the gate. Not this is the Black Captain America, which was a huge problem when this whole thing first started. There was a lot of talk, and they actually addressed it in Sam's book too. That's the Black Captain America. No, he's just Captain America. It doesn't have a color besides red, white, and blue. So Sam going on the video feed to all of New York saying, hey, we have a plan, and we're still fighting for you, and I know you're still fighting for yourselves, but we're gonna do this. So basically, the heroes have one fragment of the cosmic cube, and they want to use that fragment to blast the Darkhold. Not the Darkhold, the cube. I think they call it the Darkhold. The cube. Shin Solidus, thank you for following. I just got Secret Empire 0. Those $5 3-packs also came with Monsters Unleashed 1 and Avengers number 2, which I'll probably sell. Monsters Unleashed is a good comic book if you're super into kaiju like me. It's kind of on its own away from the Marvel Universe, but I strongly suggest you read it. if you're into like Godzilla, Gamera, and that much stuff. So much for me lurking. I'm sorry. I like doing that the little zombie following thing just because it gets everybody so excited. We were trying to hit 50 followers and we totally smashed 50 followers, and every time that do popped up, everybody got super stoked. So Sam comes up in Secret Empire 8, says he's Captain America, says we're doing this. He starts flying close to the dome. He wants to will this cosmic cube fragment to shatter the dome and take it down. And he gets snipered down by a Hydra pilot. Like, straight up shot. What's up, Cab? I've seen you in the chat. You've been talking. Thanks for following. He gets shot down, which is crazy. You're just like, he's gonna do it. He's gonna do it. Boom. No, never mind. While this is going on, Doctor Strange is also trying to cast this spell that he thinks will take down the dome. And up in space, Rocket and Star-Lord convince Captain Marvel to throw a bunch of bombs at the dome that they think will blow it up as well. So all these three things happening, all inspired by Sam getting on the radio and saying, hey, this is the resistance. We are taking back New York and the world. Stand with us. And all three things go up in smoke, obviously. Sam gets shot down, the bombs don't work, and Doctor Strange's big light show doesn't work at all. What does work is there's a prison break going on behind the scenes of all this. And during the prison break of all the scenes behind this, hey Dizzy, thanks for cheering me. During the prison break behind the scenes, ooh, what is that? I didn't even know that one was there. Oh, it was like a cube or a triangle, a pyramid. That's what I was looking for. While the prison break's going on, Maria Hill sneaks in. Blackout is there, and he still sees her as the Pleasant Hill one. Now there's another sound. What is that sound? Nothing came up. He's the Pleasant Hill one. Oh, I don't think you guys can hear the sounds, actually. I'll turn that back on. He sees her as Pleasant Hill. Sorry. He sees her as Mayor Hill, and she tries to calm him down and everything, and then she shoots him. Simple as that. She decides she's going to be the hero that everybody needs, and to steal something from Batman needs and deserves. Needs, not deserves. So she shoots Blackout, and all of a sudden the dome starts coming down, and all of a sudden the heroes are on. All this, Sam comes back up. He got shot. No, he didn't. They don't really explain it, but he definitely got shot, and then he was like drowning, and then he just comes back up from the water. It's crazy. It probably has something to do with the fragment he has in his hand at the time that he shot. So that happens. Ooh, and I also forgot. What's their name? The name is slipping me. The Cosmic Hero. Right now. What is it? Oh, I went right to the thing. I went right to the page. Quasar. Quasar wakes up from her coma. Sorry, that's totally slipped my mind. Quasar wakes up from her coma, and she's trying to blast through at the same time, and the dome just comes down, and all the heroes are geared up and ready to go. And just like Craig says, Sam Wilson really takes up the mantle as the guiding light in this issue. He does. He says the assemble line. He's ready to go. He leads everyone. He survives death for even a split second, and the heroes are instantly ready to fight. All this going on while we do have this alternate Steve Rogers kind of fighting his way through. We're not really sure. It might be his consciousness. It might be in the cosmic cube. But basically, last issue, he started drowning, and he comes back up because he sees a guiding light, and that guiding light is Sharon Carter. And Sharon Carter disappears, and all of a sudden, it's just him and Kobik. So that's awesome. There's also a part where Namor comes up and brings back Bucky from the dead, and is like, hey, Bucky's not dead. And that part really feels a little rushed and shoehorned in for some reason. The heroes are ready. They're like, all right, now we need a plan. And Bucky just comes out and he's like, you said you needed a plan? Like, Bucky had a plan this whole time, but it really feels kind of rushed. Last we saw Bucky, Baron Zemo blasted him off and with a bunch of bombs and stuff. And so, yeah, I'm interested to see where that goes the next issue. Secret Empire number 9, the cover actually had someone in black fighting Baron Zemo, and the other person was blacked out. You couldn't see. That's now revealed to be Bucky. So it'll be interesting to see what he does and if he sticks around, because he's not in any of the Marvel Legacy previews so far. I took it as the Cosmic Cube healing him because it just does its stuff. He's talking about Sam Wilson. That's how I kind of took it too. Sam had, and they say at the beginning, each of the Cosmic Cube fragments have a little bit of power left in them, and I think that was them using. I think that was them using the last bit of power in that fragment. Cab says, so since you mentioned Star-Lord, I gotta do a shameless plug. I'm currently writing a script for a Guardians of the Galaxy fan comic. That's kind of awesome. Drop that link in the chat so everyone can check that out, because that sounds really cool. I really need to change the side of the chat because I always point this way just out of habit, and it's this way, and it's such a weird place to point. So Cab, drop that in the chat. Let everybody check it out. Craig says, if I may theorize, I think Kobik wanted to do the right thing, so when she revived Rogers, she created 2 copies, kind of going against its nature. That's a good point, and I kind of think that too. I kind of think that Kobik has a little piece of the universe sectioned off where she's keeping that Steve Rogers, and it begs the question: why was there a Red Skull there? Does she take it as, oh, of course, because every Steve Rogers needs a Red Skull, or was that Kobik trying to, or was that Kobik, did she save the Red Skull when Steve killed him? Was that Kobik trying to disguise herself and she just couldn't anymore? Because when Steve runs into Kobik at the end of this, she's crying. She's got tears running down her face. So it really just kind of begs a bunch of questions. And this is almost over. So it can go anywhere at this point. The heroes are ready to fight back from Hydra Steve. Sam is fully taken up the mantle. Maria is definitely underground at this point. Like, I don't know what she can do, or if anyone will forgive her, or even if this is her redemption moment and people realize, oh, she took down the dome. Shin said, I thought I knew something about comics until I came here. I don't know nothing. Trust me, as I was reading this comic, I'm like, okay, that's that character. Marvel events now are so huge and so big in scope that it's not just your main players anymore. Peter Parker wasn't even in this, and that's like, that is their staple. That is their go-to for Marvel. That is their especially with the movie that just came out, that's their most recognizable character right now. And Peter Parker's not in this. Hydra Steve is shown maybe once in this. So the original Captain America is not in this comic. No one that people would recognize just picking up this comic is there at the forefront, and I think that's really a kind of a barrier for Marvel, and it's good for the longtime readers. It's a big payoff, but some of this just kind of feels like these characters shoveled in together, and here's all these new characters that we're pushing right now, and not really the characters that a lot of people care about. There's Iron Man, but he's a robot. He's not Tony, because Tony is brain dead or dead. They haven't made it super clear yet. Cab said, I'm doing a word offline. I'll whisper you a link when I'm done. Dope. And if you want me to share it, I'll share it out. If you want to share it when you're done, we can do that here too. To create the means to create Captain America, there is no Cap without Red Skull. That was my thought too. Like maybe create both sides of the coin and see where this Steve Rogers that she saved evens out. Which one's the real Steve Rogers? Maybe, like, I'm half thinking that the Red Skull will take off his mask at the ends of these dream sequences, whatever they may be, and it's Hydra Steve, because that's just how Kobik made it. I'm listening and learning. I know next to nothing about comics. I'm learning a lot. Wait. I'm waiting. But no, that's good. I'm super excited. And like I said, support your local comic book stores. I got this from a shop called Quest. You can do that, or you can go on Comixology and read along with us. Every Wednesday, we pick like the big top 4 or 5 comics, and we just go with it. Wait, I thought Iron Man was a woman. Not Iron Man. I forgot her name. I haven't been reading her comic. But she is the next in line for the mantle of, I guess, an Iron person. And we'll get to Generations in a second. Don't worry. It's gonna go around in a circle, right? Riri, there we go. Riri is piloting a suit with the help of Stark. So Stark is kind of her new Jarvis, and that's basically what Stark is here. he's in an Iron Man suit, but he's just a Jarvis kind of hologram simulation thing. But that's Secret Empire number 8. If you've been reading Secret Empire at this point, honestly, one of the better Marvel series, event series, in a long time. So, boom. Secret Empire. Go ahead and try to pick up the entire thing, or just wait for it to come out and trade. For those of you, like you're saying, that you know next to nothing about comics, you can either collect them issue by issue, or at the end of a story arc, they will all come out for around $20 to $25 altogether. It's usually four to 6 issues, or like in Secret Empire's case, it'll probably be 10. They might even split it into 2. Trade paperbacks. So basically what that is just those issues collected into one, so you can buy them all at once, but they usually come out 4 to 6 months after the story is complete. So you won't be reading along with us, but you're still going to get those great stories that you want, especially if you find a character and a writer that you really like. So Secret Empire, good. Go pick it up if you've been reading the Secret Empire series. If not, let's wait till the whole legacy happens. Jumping over to easily the most talked about comic this week. DC Mr. Miracle number 1. Now, for those of you, let's start with the writer, because for those of you who haven't heard of this writer, Tom King has been widely heralded as one of the best comic book writers around in 2017, and maybe even 2016, because Vision was in 2016 as well. So this is very exciting. He does very well with very obscure characters. He's working on Batman right now, which is probably the most mainstream he's worked on, and he's doing really well on it. A lot of bugs like it. Vision is what he did over at Marvel, and that's what a lot of bugs absolutely fell in love with Tom King. Let me say that the biggest, and you bugs know how much I like this character I'm about to mention, the biggest applause and acknowledgement and comment I can give to this is this book reminds me so much of Matt Fraction's Hawkeye at the start. So much. It's a different art style. And this art style, I can see how a lot of bugs might not be familiar with it, or might think that's kind of weird. This is amazing. Okay, I'm just gonna say, let me show you something. I don't know how well you can see it, but it looks like a 1980s TV half the time, and it jumps back and forth between that and kind of like an older comic book style, as you can see up in the corner right there. And then all of a sudden you're back in the TV world, or you're back in older comic books, or it even takes you into like a newer comic book style that honestly kind of reminds you of Hawkeye number 1 and those, it's either David Aja or Aja, those pencils. It has that style, but it jumps between all 3 of these styles so jarringly wonderful. And I say that because at first you don't really like this right here. So this looks like a mixture of an 80s comic and a TV show, and in an 80s TV, like off the screen, like you're looking at a TV, and I absolutely love it. And that's the opening page of the book, and it just grabs you instantly. The art in this, I cannot praise it enough. The art in Mr. Miracle number 1. Go pick it up just for that. If it was a terrible story, you can pick it up just for the art and print every single one of these pages as some kind of thing to put on your wall, because it's that good. The other thing about this issue is that the writing's really good too. It's a really good story. And for those of you that don't know Mr. Miracle, because I guarantee you, for every 10 people that know Mr. Miracle, there are 10 million people that don't. It's just that simple. He's not a well-known DC character. He's shown up in a couple stories. I don't think he's ever had his own comic before. This might be the only one. I'll have to look that up, or one of you bugs can correct me. Oh yeah, look at it. Just look how beautiful that is. Like, look at it. Not the most well-known comic character, not at all. And that's what's so great about it. I think that gives Tom King room to play a lot. The best part is he doesn't play that much. He doesn't change anything about Mr. Miracle, really. There's a lot of So introduction, because this is what I know. I don't know a lot about him, but he's an escape artist. He's the son of the one of the new gods, the highest new god. I forgot his name. He's in the book. I totally read it like an hour ago, and I can't remember his name. But he's a new god, and he falls in love with Big Barda, and he he falls in love with Big Barda. He's traded to Apocalypse to go be Apocalypse's son when he was born, because they made that trade of new gods and Apocalypse, and he escapes because that's his thing. He's the greatest escape artist of all time. He's Mr. Miracle. So this cover right here, which is also beautiful. There's another cover that I was looking for. They didn't have the variant where I went, but it is that TV style, and it kind of has the line through it and the static. Oh, it looks amazing. But this cover here basically shows it off that he can escape anything. So he's on a late night talk show of Godfrey's. So the whole thing kind of makes you wonder if it's real. Because Barda is the High Father. That's his dad's name, is the High Father. Barda is his girlfriend or wife, I'm not sure, but it's Big Barda from Apocalypse, and her eyes change colors at some point, and he kind of notices. And there's other things in the book that you kind of notice, like Glorious Godfrey. He's on his talk show, and you're kind of like, is he still in Apocalypse? Is he not? Is he? There's a lot of questions, and this book isn't as straightforward as you would like it to be. So if you don't like that kind of storytelling, maybe wait for the collection of this. If you like kind of the piece by piece, and like, oh, they just give me a little bit right now, but I really want the rest of the steak, and I gotta wait another month for the rest of the steak, then you'll like this comic. I can liken it to Hickman's Fantastic Four run, especially the beginning, where you're like, I don't know what's happening right now, but this is going to be a fun ride. Like, let's stick along and figure it out. That's kind of what this is. Sorry, I was reading the comics real quick. Are they still doing the Nova comics? The one with his son being Nova now. It's not Richard Rider's son. Sam Alexander is still Nova. I believe he still has a comic out, but he's definitely in the Champions comic. Go check out Champions. It's kind of like a Young Avengers type comic. Man, the only event I remember of Mr. Miracle is him getting killed by the anti-life. That's what a lot of people remember, honestly. And they mention the anti-life equation in this comic. They're kind of, Darkseid has the equation, and Mr. Miracle and Barda have to go back there to Apocalypse to stop him. And they say the High Father's been killed, and Mr. Miracle had recently attempted suicide because he had escaped everything, and everything is becoming so easy. But what's the one thing people can't escape? Because he wants to try to escape that, and it's death. And so he tried to commit suicide. Barda found him, and there's this question: did he really escape? What's happening? And they asked that in the book. Like, did you really escape? And he's kind of like, wait, what do you mean? Did I really escape? And then they go to commercial on Godfrey's TV show. So the whole thing is really great. It's pretty fantastic. So I would go pick up Mr. Miracle #1, because this is the perfect jumping on point that you can feel something special. And like I said, the last time I can remember reading the beginning of an arc and feeling like so ready for this ride, just strapping in, seatbelt on and everything, was Jonathan Hickman on Fantastic Four, his first issue. And you're just like, all right, we're doing this. Click. You're in the driver's seat. Let's go. So if you enjoy fun rides of comics, if you enjoy kind of being kept in the dark for a while, pick up Mr. Miracle. And if you don't enjoy those things, pick up Mr. Miracle for the art, because it's fantastic. And the artist is, I'll give him a shout out, because I gave Tom King a shout out. The artist is Mitch Gerdas, Gerads. So I'm gonna go find him on Twitter and follow him, because I absolutely love that style, and he just knocks out of the park. So Mr. Miracle, fantastic comic, probably the pull of the week this week, I'm gonna be honest. Go pick it up. #3 in the comics box. I gotta slide it back in. #3 in the comic box is, I picked it up because we have been reading it, and I wanted to find either another DC comic or something from IDW or anything. I didn't pick up, like I said, I didn't pick up First Fight, because I feel like that's event it's number one, but I feel like it's been building. Something's been building to that event, so I don't really know all those characters. Action Comics, Superman. Action Comics number 985, because we are slowly approaching 1,000, and I kind of want to be there for it. I hope 1,000's good. So we'll see. This comic book comes out every 2 weeks or so. It doesn't take a month, so it's not gonna take a long time for us. We'll get it in half the time that most Marvel comic books come out, besides Secret Empire, because that is a genetic freak of a comic. Cap says, what's different about my fan comic is two major changes. One, Thanos doesn't exist in this reality. Two, the entire universe is 10 years younger than the main Marvel universe. It takes place in 2017, but the events taking place mimic 2007 arcs and events. Dope. So it's a cosmic comic set in 2007 without Thanos, and that's kind of taking a huge major player out and seeing what that landscape would be like without him. So I'm really excited for that. And yeah, Cab, share when it comes out, and we'll all go read it. Craig says, "Boo, Superman." Trust me, I'm trying to get people over this hump of Superman's boring and everything. The only problem is this comic isn't helping. Ugh. Oh, I forgot to share the most important part of the week with you. Oh my gosh! So I just talked about how much I loved Mr. Miracle. We're gonna pull out Mr. Miracle again because I don't want to show this development, this happy moment with Superman with Action Comics, because it doesn't really deserve it. Mr. Miracle, let's look through these pages real quick. There's something you don't see. Guess what it is? A Snickers advertisement. That's what's not in this book. A 2-page Snickers advertisement taking you out of the comic book. Given the Snickers advertisement is in here. It's in the end. Oh no, it's not. Maybe that's in Superman. All right, dope. No Snickers advertisement at all in this one. None. There's a Rick and Morty advertisement right in the beginning. Nothing right in the middle. Beetle, you're not Beetle when you're hungry. True, but there's nothing. There's no faux comic book art. Because like I said, my favorite part is this art is amazing. Shout out Pentagon. Pentagon is in this book. is an advertisement, but there's no ad faking to be a comic book to take you out of this beautiful style. And do I think that was a conscious choice? Abso-freaking-lutely. I think putting any kind of Snickers ad or any ad with that pretended to be comic book art would totally take you out of this comic, and I think it's a fantastic choice by them to not put it in. And even in Superman, the Snickers ad is the very last page, so none of that 2-page spread thing. No more of that. I want my money back. Give me my Snickers ad or give me death. No, Cynical. No Snickers ad. We're not doing it this time. Not all this week, because, like I said, in the Superman in Action Comics, it's the last page and it's not that 2-page spread. So we did good. Good job, DC, this week for not ruining your main comics with that terrible, terrible 2-page spread. Sorry, back on to Action Comics, because like I said, this one has the Snickers ad. It's just not the same. It's just not that terrible format. Everyone freaking out in the chat, you can have a Snickers ad. I'll give it to you, but it has to be on the last page like this Action Comics one. Here, I can show it to you. Look, there it is. It's the same art style and everything. It's just the 1 page cut off. I don't even think it's a different story. I'm pretty sure it's the same story, just compressed into 1 page. That's fine. 2-page spread of Snickers ad. We don't need that. It's terrible. So this is the start of a new arc called Only Human. The last arc, Clark and Lois and John were traveling across America, and in this arc we kind of leave John and Lois out in the dark. We kind of push them back to the back of the book because this focuses on Superman and Lex. Superman basically stops some terrorists and has to team up with Lex Luthor. And by the end of the comic, the terrorists brainwashed Lex Luthor, and Lex Luthor is bad again, and he's fighting Superman. And that is literally all there is to say about this comic. I was so excited to pick it up because I've been enjoying Superman. I've been enjoying Action Comics. And this just feels samesies. That's it. There's nothing to pop out at you from it. So we'll see where it goes. Like I said, I want to be there for number 1000. And if it keeps going like this, I might buy it and I might not even talk about it on the show because this is a boring book. Simple as that. I don't know how else to put it. Superman, the main line, fantastic. They focus on Clark, John, and Lois and the family dynamic and how they're taking on all these villains together. Great stories. But this one, I don't know if it's them being pushed to the back or anything. It just feels like a step in the wrong direction for sure. Lex has such a better part in Red Hood this week. Craig, that just means I'm going to have to go read Red Hood. So I'm going to go pick up Red Hood on Comixology, and then I'll talk about it next week, or I'll figure it out. But yeah, I didn't even think about that. If you bugs have any comic suggestions for me, or you want to see something this week or next week, tweet it out to me. Figure out what books are coming out next week. Tweet them out. Say, hey, Beetle, can you pick this up for Comic Box? Maybe I will, maybe I won't. If enough bugs do it, I definitely will. And yeah, then we can all read together, and it might be easier. Because right now I haven't been really telling you what we're reading. I'm just saying top 4 or 5 books of the week. And so I just kind of go in there and look at what's new this week and grab what catches the eye and grab what I know people are talking about. I mean, Blue Beetle is technically a Super Beetle, so it would make sense. Blue Beetle is not Super Beetle. We're completely different people. Yes, you will, but by 11 and 12 and 13. Okay, so it's all one arc for Red Hood, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, I'll go pick it up. The last book we're going to talk about this week, and it's kind of a continuation of last week, is Marvel Generations. This one's about the Phoenix. Jean Grey and the Phoenix Generations. So last week we talked about Hulk Generations, and it was the first Generations comic to come out. This week's gives us a much better idea of what Generations is and what it's going to be. I think there's one part in particular that gives us a very, very clear look at what this Generations line is going to be. So it opens up. We have little Jean Grey, little JG. It was pretty hype, but I was a little underwhelmed. I feel the same way, honestly, and we'll get to it right now. Little JG. Ooh, somebody says something. Lex Luthor being evil never made sense to me. I always saw him as a Doctor Doom type of character. Him not being a bad guy, but still a villain. Yeah, and this one, he just gets brainwashed at the end, and then it's just kind of a Lex and Clark fist fight, and that's I think that's my biggest problem with it is like they're just. It's just a Superman Lex Luthor fist fight. Lex Luthor has his Superman suit, but this is the same thing we've read before. That's what you were doing so well with Rebirth, is going in places we hadn't seen, but you would take us on this ride, and it's just Action Comics is kind of more of the same. Generations, like Craig said, it was pretty hype. It was obviously a little underwhelming, but I think it set the groundwork for Generations a lot better. So it opens up the same place that Hulk Generations did, and that's kind of just the present day version of this character being transported back in time to some random spot in the older character's time. So little JG finds the Phoenix, Jean Grey, on a beach, and if you've been following along with Jean Grey's story and comic right now, the Phoenix is kind of chasing her. She knows it's just a matter of time before the Phoenix finds her and she becomes the Phoenix, and she doesn't want to go through what her older self already did. It's kind of the same way that Cyclops is running from his future. That seems to be the big theme between Jean and Scott right now, is they're running from their futures. And so she finds the Phoenix, and she has so many questions. She's like, and she realizes this is before Jean. Older Jean has gone crazy and done all the bad things that she's done. She's a very young Phoenix right now, but she still has the Phoenix Force. She still knows she's the Phoenix. She still considers herself, in a very sincere way, the bringer of life. So she has all these questions about her. She wants to ask her everything, but she also wants to know how to stop the Phoenix, how to control it, how to do this. So she starts asking all these questions, and older Jean Grey says, "Hey, let's go to a club. Let's go dance. Let's go hang out. You hungry? Like, you want to eat something? Let's go hang out. That's cool. You and me, we're totally each other. We're the same person. Let's go hang out and talk somewhere else." And older Jean Grey ends up avoiding every kind of question that younger Jean Grey can ask. They go dancing, they go eating, it's just completely, you can tell, not that she's hiding something, but she's definitely running in the same way that young Jean is running. And finally, young Jean just kind of breaks down and says, hey, look, we need to talk about this. I need to know what's happening. I need to know how to stop the Phoenix because it's coming after me as well. And Big Jean says, hey, let's go see something real quick. Boom, shoots off into space, super fast, other side of the galaxy. Pew! Goes to a planet. These little jelly dudes, and this is my favorite part of the book. Let me find these jelly dudes because it's such a fun little character design that you can really look at the dudes at the bottom right there. They're just jellies with brains. Like, hey, we need some throwaway alien. What can we pick? Boomskis. Jellies with brains. Who Uggs Phoenix and yay Cyclops? He's the Superman of Marvel without having some of the cool moments Superman has. No, that's Wolverine. Oh, Commons fight. They're going at it. Cyclops and Jean Grey. A lot of people have a problem with Cyclops. I always like Cyclops, but I feel like that's because my only real time with Cyclops is the animated series. Is the animated series. That's my Cyclops. I really like him. So, little jellies. And what they do, gummy bears. They are gummy bears. And so what's happening is Galactus is taking this world, and Galactus is going to eat this world with all these little jellies on it. And his herald is there and everything. And older Jean just turns into Phoenix and says, hey, no, this isn't happening. This is my world. It's under my protection. And her and Galactus start going at it. And then Galactus starts siphoning her force off. So little JG has to basically take the force from everything around her. And she says it in the book, punch Galactus in the face. And that's what she does. Galactus falls. Galactus says, you know what? I respect you two. I will leave this planet be. But if we run into each other again, there's going to be trouble. So he leaves the planet be, takes off, and Big Jean is so excited. She's like, oh, 2 Phoenixes, he couldn't stop us, man. That's the Phoenix Force. Phoenix Force is a life bringer. It's so awesome. That's what we are. Isn't it great? And then everything stops. And this is the moment that I was talking about when we started talking about this book that I think really, really kind of is what Generations is going to be all about. Because all of a sudden, everything stops. And boom, the Watcher shows up. I don't know if it's a Uatu, but a Watcher shows up. I thought a Uatu was killed for some reason. I don't know if he came back. But a Watcher shows up. Anyways. And little Jean is talking to him and is the only one that can see him. And they talk about how it's little Jean's choice whether she wants to tell the older version of herself what's going to happen with the Phoenix, and maybe she can prevent all this stuff from happening. Maybe she can prevent the guy following her, I forgot his name, the guy following her from messing around in her mind and kind of making her go off the deep end. And little Jean starts thinking, she's like, I can save so many X-Men. I can save probably the biggest catastrophe in X history right here, right now. All I need to do is tell myself, hey, this is what's going on around you. Pay attention. This is what this thing is. And Uatu tells her this is one of those pivotal moments in mankind. Whatever choice you make right now is a pivotal moment in mankind. And I want to go off on a kind of a tangent and say this, because I think this is a big part of Generations. I think every Generations book is going to have this moment, and I could be wrong. We'll figure out probably next week when another Generations book comes out. But I think every Generations book is going to have this pivotal moment that can change the universe. And I don't think the Hulks got that moment, because they're the Hulks, and they just wanted to smash each other and smash things around them. And I think that kind of threw that moment away because they didn't get that time. And right when they were about to get that time, boom, there comes the military back in. So I don't think Uatu had to stop that moment because they missed it. So I think Jean gets it. I think Iron Man's eventually going to get it when it comes around in September, or I'm sorry, Riri is going to get it with Tony when it comes around in September. And I think as we go on, we're going to start to see more and more moments that we're going to start to realize and notice and recognize, like, oh, that's that point in time. There could have definitely stopped this stuff, because people that were reading comics back when the original Dark Phoenix saga was happening probably can pinpoint where this lands in a timeline and say, okay, yeah, they can definitely stop some things right there. Just a quick prediction: I think Riri and Tony's generations, the Iron, is going to happen in Civil War. Craig just said it before I got to say it. I definitely think it's going to happen in Civil War, or at least right before Civil War. So that's going to be interesting, or maybe even right before Dark Reign, for that matter, for Secret Invasion. That would be interesting as well, because Tony kind of loses everything there. So, and I think one of the Generations comics, if not a couple of them, are going to choose a choice that diverges. Not everyone's going to stay silent like Jean stays here, because young Jean stays silent, decides not to tell her about everything, and the Watcher says, let me read it directly. He says, "For so long, you have believed that you had no control over your fate, but in this moment, by letting time play out without your interference, you are in total control." So obviously, just off the top of my head, Miles is going to get this wrong. Miles is definitely going to change something. If this is, mind you, this is all speculation. This is what I think Generations is all about. If this happens, I think Miles is gonna tell somebody something, whatever it may be, whether it be Peter about to be taken over by Doc Ock. I think it might be a little farther back than that, honestly. I don't think they would do that new. Heck, shoot, it might even be Peter and MJ. Exactly. See, Craig, we're just in the same mind link right here. I think Miles might reverse one more day. That's absolutely possible if this is the direction they're going in with Generations. So, yes, an underwhelming comic in this, but I definitely think it sets an interesting stage for the rest of Generations. Because if this is what they're doing, if this is the path they decide to go in with Legacy and Generations, it would be very different than Rebirth, which a lot of people have compared it to. They're like, oh, this is Marvel's Rebirth. They're trying to think of something. They're trying to figure out something to do to combat DC. And if they do it and it works, then more power to them. What's the difference? Like, let's let it happen. Let's let it play out. Let's watch it. Let's read it. And I hope this boosts Marvel's sales in a good way and keeps them there, just like Rebirth boosted DC sales for a long time. Because Marvel needs that. I think they kind of got a swift kick in the butt, and I really hope they got a kick in the butt enough to especially with losing so many weeks, so many months of sales to DC on Rebirth, that they just decide, all right, we need to set things straight. We need to figure out where we're going and set things straight. And I hope that's what Generations is. That's super, super positive thinking on my end. Glass half full optimism. But you never know. If you have a different opinion, because me and Craig are honestly on the same wavelength right now, all the way down, go ahead and put it in the chat. Go ahead and tweet it to me, because I'm interested to see where this goes. And we can only... The next issue that comes out of Generations, I'm not sure who it is or when it comes out. It's probably next week, or it might be in 2 weeks. That's when we're going to start to see things shaping a little more. Because someone's sending these heroes back in time. Someone's messing with the timeline. They're not just falling back into time. Something's happening. So there's also that aspect of it. So that'll be fun. I think it'll be fun. I really hope so. So if you're not reading Secret Empire right now, wait for the trade. Wait for Generations to come out. Start reading Generations, because Marvel's doing that terrible thing where they're starting something new before they finish something, and I hate it. But that's what's happening right now, and if you want to read Marvel Comics, you kind of have to jump on board. And by all means, I'm not saying you have to read Marvel Comics, because if you hate it so much, vote with your dollar. Don't buy those books. Wait for something new to come out and support the creators that you love, support the characters that you love, because without a million people screaming Runaways, there probably wouldn't be a new Runaways comic coming out. The Flash is now messing with Marvel's timeline. I believe it. The Flash TV show is now messing with Marvel's timeline. Not even the actual comic book. They're just letting the TV show. They're like, all right, let's put Barry here and here and here. Can we get Grant Gustin in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.? Let's see. Let's just make him the Flash, but not call him the Flash. And let's do that. And then we'll separate Agents from S.H.I.E.L.D. from the entire movie universe, because that's something we've been wanting to do. And that's a whole nother episode of Comic Box. I can't even get into it right now. It's ridiculous. Marvel, get your TV and movies together. You have such a golden opportunity, and you're just tiptoeing the line. Stop it. Jump in, dive in like you wanted to do at the beginning when you made Coulson the star of this show and said, hey, these are connected, and then you're like, oh, not really connected. Now Coulson is just banished from the movies when he was one of the biggest parts of Avengers. Generations kind of stand alone though, whereas Secret Empire's all-inclusive. Generations lets them show off great individual character building. That's true. It's just a matter of where Generations lands on the timeline and what that means going forward, because there is a Spider-Man one, and like I haven't done any research. I don't know if the Spider-Man one comes out before or after. Let's check. Spider-Man Generations, does it come out before or after Secret Empire is over? Marvel Generate. This is all stuff I should probably come to this show with. Generations Spider-Man. Oh, let's see. There's the covers for them. The covers for these Generations are beautiful, by the way. Steve Rogers, Sam Wilson one is great. There's the spiders. I just had it. Where'd it go? There's the spiders. Spiders comes out. Doesn't say. Doesn't say when the spiders come out. But it does say, when it comes to problems, Peter Parker's got it all. Bullies at school, ailing Aunt May, a doppelganger, crushing responsibility, and wait, a doppelganger? Can't Peter ever catch a break? What does this craziness have to do with Miles Morales? So definitely, it sounds like the spiders are dropping into the Clone Saga. That's where Miles is going to come in. So that'll be interesting. Generations Iron Man and Ironheart says Riri is given a once-in-a-lifetime chance to meet Tony Stark, Sorcerer Supreme. Join Ironheart as she discovers things about Iron Man's legacy that will change her forever. So when did Iron Man become the Sorcerer Supreme? So it's not Civil War. It might be that Doom comic. Yeah, it is Clone Saga. And there's the Miss Marvel one, there's Captain America one. They're part of the greatest generation, and now Sam Wilson finds himself alongside them yet again in a strange yet familiar setting, fighting shoulder to shoulder with Captain America and Bucky against a seemingly unstoppable threat to the safety of the world. So that one's even going back to the 40s, Captain America, it seems. So yeah, it also the Jean Grey one, kind of topical, obviously, because it has to be the Phoenix. So you put her right when Jean is the Phoenix, but not enough of the Phoenix to be crazy. And then the Hulk's one was kind of a random one too. So maybe they're just placing them in random times, and maybe everything we just said, maybe not going to happen. We'll see. But Generations seems fun, and for now, I'm gonna stick to it because, like I said, it's definitely kind of a step in the right direction so far. Like I said, or like Craig said as well, this one was kind of underwhelming, but it definitely could set the stage if they go that way, if they decide to run with it, and I really hope they do. Yes, One More Day remains a thing. So, bugs. Cleaning up. Let's see if I have anything else to talk about, because I don't believe there was a lot of news today. Peter and MJ need to be a thing again. Both characters are better together. Completely agree. Just like Clark and Lois, better together. They don't need their daughter. I don't need renew your vows. That's fine. That can exist in their own kind of side world thing. But just give me Peter and MJ. Hell, give me Peter and MJ dating again. Give me Peter and MJ like she knows he's Spider-Man here, and they broke up for a reason. Just give me Peter and MJ being covering for each other, that kind of thing. I miss that. I miss not just MJ staying at home like, oh, okay, bye, Tiger. I miss her being kind of like proactive with things and being there for Peter. Peter needs someone to talk to. I miss her being Peter's person to talk to instead of Peter jumping and us having to come up with a new female protagonist for that book every year, every 6 months. It's exhausting. And I've said it before, Dan Slott isn't my favorite Spider-Man writer. I need Dan Slott to move along. I need him to move along. Bring back Joe Kelly. Joe Kelly, get on Spider-Man and kill it. Kill it. Rip Peter's heart out like you're best at doing, because Joe Kelly is the ultimate Spider-Man writer. I don't care what anyone says. He's my favorite of all time. Go read Grim Hunt. Go read Family Ties. Go read Family Ties. Joe Kelly knows Spider-Man, and he knows how to just take Peter's luck and turn it 10 times worse every single time. Go read the whole Gauntlet. The Gauntlet storyline's fantastic, and I think it's like 30 issues long or something, but it's great, and it kind of reinvigorates every character for Grim Hunt. But yeah, that's all. That was Wednesday. That was our comic box. We did pick the top 4 comics today. Kind of a short haul. I'm going to go pick up Red Hood and the Outlaws so I can read that. We'll talk about it next week. Promises. We'll see if we get to it, honestly. Maybe the next time Red Hood comes out, maybe then I'll read the whole thing. Go back and just catch up. Because I don't think you're the only one that asked me for that, Craig. I think somebody else also asked me for that as well. So, back to the housekeeping stuff. I am a Twitch affiliate now. If you like this show, if you like any of the shows we put on, which is Sunday, Monday, Wednesday. Sunday is free play, 12 p.m. Pacific time. Monday, clearance rack, where we buy a game $10 or less. I lost my train. I was right there. See, I almost had it perfect. One of these days I'm gonna do it. One of these days I'm gonna get it really well down and just completely spit it all out, like I'm reading like the fine print of a car commercial or something. Sunday we do clearance rack, where we buy a game $10 or less. That starts at 8 p.m. No, Monday. Sunday's free play. Monday's clearance rack. That starts at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Wednesdays, you're here right now. We wear pink. Don't forget to wear pink. That's a rule for Comic Box. Thanks for the cheers again. That's a rule for Comic Box. We wear pink, but we start here at 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, just so everybody gets a chance to read the books. And then, if you like it, subscribe, because we can do that now. We're trying to hit 100 subscribers. We have 93 more until we get a 24-hour stream going. And trust me, it's going to be insane. I'm kind of already, like, I know this is wishful thinking, but I'm kind of already getting things in place for that. So we've got a fun couple of things coming into fruition with a 24-hour stream. If we hit 100, if it happens, we'll see. What else? At Real Super Beetle on Instagram and Twitter. If you want to see what I did this weekend, I hit up Wrestle Circus and I hit up Empire Wrestling Federation. Wrestled for both those companies this past weekend. Go check out the YouTube. The link's in the bottom. Or guess what? We just hit 100 subscribers on that. So we finally got to change our URL. So youtube.com/C for some reason. I don't know why it's C. youtube.com/C/Super Beetle. You can go over there and find all my videos. All the Super Beetle adventures. Trust me, this week's is a particularly fun one. By the way, you and Jervy are the dream team. Thank you. I hope to team up with Jervis at some point, and Space Monkey again at some point, because that was really fun. And those bugs know how to party. I'll just say that. Super, super fun time. If you want to buy any t-shirts, the Toku Titan Takes Texas. Oh, C is for channel. That makes sense. The Toku Titan Takes Texas shirt is only available until Monday at 11:59 p.m. It's $15. Go grab it. It's cheaper than all the other shirts. This is your last chance to get it. And Monday, it's gone. Poof. But you can grab that at canvas.com/stores/Super Beetle. Prez says this week's adventures were great. See? Go check it out. They're fantastic. Just so you know, Space Monkey loves chocolate chip cookies. I know that. I learned that this weekend. Space Monkey, Jervis, Super Beetle, Shield, Burner. But go check out that match if you can. It's on Wrestle Circus's Twitch. That's also really fun. They do replays all the time. And yeah, it was me and Space Monkey versus Ethan Page and Jay Sirius. Super fun. And that card has a lot of great matches on it. So if you want to go check it out. No Snickers ads, please. A lot of you tweeted me Snickers ads after last week's show. I love you for it. Trust me. Upcoming dates this weekend, I will be wrestling Saturday in San Bernardino, California for Empire Wrestling Federation. You can go to their website, empirewrestlingfederation.com, to check out all the details on that. Bugs. That was a lot. This has been Wednesday. This has been Beetle's Comic Box. Thank you, because we wear pink on Wednesdays. It's a Mean Girls reference. Trust me, if you don't get it, go watch that movie. It's the Breakfast Club of our generation. So go watch Mean Girls so we can talk about it next Wednesday, because we're going to talk about it every Wednesday, because we wear pink on Wednesdays. Thank you for coming. Please say goodbye to everybody in the chat. I will say goodbye here as well. Good night. I love you. You're fantastic. I will see you back here on Sunday for free play. Please don't send me Snickers ads on Twitter and Instagram, or you can send me a Snickers ad. I'm going to retweet them anyways because they're hilarious. And if anything, send me like super old Snickers ads. Let's see what we can find. Let's see if we can dig up on the internet on Snickers. Good night, Bugs. Oh, doing this with signing off with the left hand is really hard.